Dear children, welcome back to our social class. Hope that you did your quarterly examinations well. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, children. So always have the fear of the Lord. We are seeing history lesson 2 from Tay to Territory. This part we are going to learn Mysore and its resistance to British expansion. Have you heard about Mysore, which was ruled by Hyder Ali and followed by his son Tipu Sultan? Both of them are a formidable enemy to the English people. So in Indian history, the role of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan were very important. Let us learn about them. The state of Mysore rose to its prominence in politics in South India under the leadership of Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali ruled Mysore 1760 to 1782. Hyder Ali was not born as a son of a king. He was a soldier who worked under Raja Udayar. Raja Udayar was the Hindu ruler who ruled Mysore. When he died, the famous soldier under Raja Udayar, Hyder Ali, he became the king of Mysore. And he started ruling Mysore in a good manner, the best manner we can say that. And also his son Tipu Sultan, who ruled Mysore from 1782 to 1799. Both of them played a prominent role against the expansion of British Empire in India. Both of them faced the English with undoubted courage. Both of them were very fierce people, courageous people, brave people, and they fought against the British a lot. And they didn't want the presence of British in India. And also they didn't like the expansion of British power in India. So 4 wars were fought between Mysore king and also the British. This session we are going to learn about first and second Anglo-Mysore war. Let us see about that. The first Anglo-Mysore war duration was 1767 to 1769. Let us see what were the causes for this war. 2 causes were there. One is Hyder Ali's growing power and his friendly relationship with the French people. Already you know that English and French were the rivals not only in Europe, they were the rivals in India also. So here Hyder Ali, he had a very good friendly relationship with the French people. That became a matter of concern for the English East India Company. So 2 things. One is Hyder Ali's growing power and the second one is his friendly relationship with the French people became a matter of concern for the English East India Company. So English East India Company, they wanted to defeat Hyder Ali. For that purpose, they made a triple alliance. Who are the people? The Marathas, the Nizam and the English. Marathas were the ruler of Maratha and the Nizam was the ruler of Hyderabad and along with them English. All these 3 people formed a triple alliance against Hyder Ali. So course of the war. In the course of the war, the Nizam with the help of the British troops under General Joseph Smith, they invaded Mysore in 1767. Who invaded Mysore? Nizam with the help of the British General Joseph Smith. They invaded Mysore in 1767. And Hyder Ali defeated the English people and he captured Mangalore. What did Hyder Ali do? He defeated the English and captured Mangalore. In March 1769, he attacked Madras and forced the English to sign a treaty. So when he attacked Madras, the English was afraid of Hyder Ali and his bravery and his soldierliness, everything. They were afraid of Hyder Ali, English people. So they were forced by Hyder Ali to sign a treaty. So the English came to an agreement to sign a treaty. A treaty was signed on 4th April 1769. So the Treaty of Madras was signed between the British and Hyder Ali in the year 1769. It was signed between Hyder Ali and the British. Both of them agreed to return the conquered territories to each other, and also one more promise was made between them. What was the promises? The promise was they promised to help each other in case of any foreign attack on them. Suppose any foreign people or any other king had tried to attack Mysore, the English must come forward to help Hyder Ali. That was one of the important agreement of the treaty. So the first Anglo-Mysore war came to an end by the Treaty of Mysore in 1769. So Mysore, which was ruled by the famous King Hyder Ali, his growing power and friendly relationship with the French became a matter of concern for the English East India Company. So they made a triple alliance with Marathas, Nizam and the English, and they fought against Hyder Ali. The Nizam, with the help of the British General Joseph Smith, invaded Mysore in the year 1767. Hyder Ali defeated the English and he captured Mangalore. In March 1769, Hyder Ali attacked Madras and he forced the English to sign a treaty with him. Therefore, a treaty was signed. The first Anglo-Mysore War came to an end with the Treaty of Madras. In 1769, it was signed. According to the treaty, what are the conditions? Both the parties, that is Hyder Ali and also the English, each one returned the conquered territories to one another, and also they promised to help each other in case of the foreign attack. The Second Anglo-Mysore War, duration of this war was 1780 to 1784. Let us see what were the causes for this war. Just recall, after the First Anglo-Mysore War, what was the treaty signed? Treaty of Madras. According to the treaty, the English agreed to help Hyder Ali in case of any foreign attack. But here, the English did not fulfill the terms of the Treaty of 1769. Because in 1771, the Marathas, they tried to attack Mysore. Hyder Ali seek the help of the British people, but English did not help Hyder Ali. That was the main reason for the Second Anglo-Mysore War. What was the main reason for the Second Anglo-Mysore War? The English did not fulfill the terms of the Treaty of Madras, which was signed in 1769. And also one more thing is, British captured Mahe. Mahe was a French settlement within Hyder Ali's jurisdiction. Mahe was under the control of Hyder Ali. That is, jurisdiction means under his control. But Mahe was belonged to French people. British captured that place also. So two causes were there for Second Anglo-Mysore War. One is, the English did not come forward to help Hyder Ali when the Marathas attacked Hyder Ali in 1771. Next one is, the British captured Mahe, which was a French settlement within Hyder Ali's jurisdiction. So it led to the formation of alliance by Hyder Ali with the Nizam and Marathas. Look at the beauty. In the First Anglo-Mysore War, Nizam and Marathas were on the side of British. Now Nizam and the Marathas were on the side of Hyder Ali, and these three people, Hyder Ali forces, Nizam forces and Maratha forces, they formed alliance against the British. Let us see the course of the Second Anglo-Mysore War. In 1781, the British General Sir Eyre Coote, he defeated Hyder Ali at a place called Porto-Novo. Hyder Ali seems to be defeated at first. The Mysore forces suffered another defeat at Solinger. So in two places, at Porto-Novo and Solinger, in two places, the British defeated Hyder Ali forces. And in the meantime, Hyder Ali was suffered by cancer, so he died. British may thought that Hyder Ali died, the war came to an end. No, here the scene was changed by his son. Who was son of Hyder Ali? Tipu Sultan, one of the great, another warrior of Mysore. Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan were the brave people. Tipu Sultan was so brave as his father. So Tipu Sultan, after the death of Hyder Ali in 1782, his son Tipu Sultan continued the war against the British. And Tipu Sultan, very diplomatically, he captured a Brigadier Matthew of the Supreme Commander of the British forces. Matthew, he was the Supreme Commander of British forces, was captured by Tipu Sultan along with his soldiers in the year 1783. And finally, the British people, they came to a treaty with the Tipu Sultan. So what happened during the Second Anglo-Mysore War? First at two places, Porto-Novo and in Solinger, Hyder Ali was defeated, and following that he died due to cancer. So with that, British cannot get the success. What happened? Hyder Ali's son, the great man Tipu Sultan, he came into action, and he continued the war in 1782, and he captured the British chief commander Matthew along with his soldiers. And it was a great loss to Tipu also, because most of the places of the Tipu Sultan was captured by the British people. Finally, in March 7, 1784, they agreed to sign a treaty. Once again, the First Anglo-Mysore War came to an end with the Treaty of Madras. Here, the Second Anglo-Mysore War, it came to an end with the Treaty of Mangalore in 1784. The Second Anglo-Mysore War came to an end by the Treaty of Mangalore. It was signed in the year 1784. It was signed between Tipu Sultan on one side, another side the British. Like the first Anglo-Mysore War, like the Treaty of Madras, in this treaty also, both the parties, they agreed to return the conquered territories and also to release the prisoners of the war. Thus, at the time, the British Governor General was Warren Hastings. He saved the newly established British dominion from the powerful enemies of Marathas and Hyder Ali. And Varanasi, even at the time, there was a problem between the English people and the French people in America also. In America, the English, they lost their colonies to the French people, but in India, they got success in saving their newly established British dominion. And it was the credit was gone to Varanasi because he consolidated the British power in India. The Second Anglo-Mysore War duration was 1780 to 84. What were the causes for that? English did not fulfill the terms of the Treaty of Madras. So Hyder Ali, because Hyder Ali was attacked by Marathas, at that time he asked the help from English. English did not come forward to help him. And the second reason for the Second Anglo-Mysore War was British captured Mackay, a French settlement, which was under Hyder Ali's jurisdiction. So that the two reasons was the main reasons for the Second Anglo-Mysore War. And during this war, at two places, Porto Novo and Solinger, the Mysore forces were defeated by the British. Followed that, Hyder Ali was died because of cancer. And in 1782, Tipu Sultan, his son, who was a brave man like his father, he continued the war and he captured British soldiers and the commander. And the Treaty of Mangalore was signed in 1784 between Tipu Sultan on one side and the British. So both of them agreed to return the conquered territories and also release the prisoners of the war. The Warren Hastings, who was the Governor General of British at that time in India, he had the gain of consolidating the British power in India. So following that, Third and Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, we will see in the next class. So children, hope that you understood the concept of First Anglo-Mysore War and Second Anglo-Mysore War. Listen the class properly and take down the notes and do the assignment given to you. Thank you, children.
We're going to look at the Anglo-Mysore Wars happened between 1767 to 1799, which was majorly fought in the South Indian region. Hyder Ali started his career as a soldier in the Mysore state, where he later became the Faujdar of Dindigul. With the help of the French, he was able to establish a modern arsenal in Dindigul. And in 1761, Hyder Ali overthrew Nanjara, the Prime Minister of Wadayar Kingdom under King Krishnaraja I. He kept recognizing the king as lawful ruler. For the conquest of Mysore, the English fought 4 wars with Mysore. Let us look at them one by one. The First Anglo-Mysore War, 1767 to 69. The battlefield was Madras, and it came to an end with the Treaty of Madras by 2nd April 1769 between Mysore and the British East India Company. The First Anglo-Mysore War was a conflict in India between the Sultanate of Mysore and the East India Company. The war was instigated in part by the machinations of Asaf Jah II, the Nizam of Hyderabad, who sought to divert the company's resources from attempts to gain control of the northern Sarkars. A tripartite alliance was formed against Hyder Ali by the Britishers, the Nizam Ali of Hyderabad and the Marathas. Hyder Ali bought Marathas and succeeded in breaking the alliance and alluring the Nizam with territorial gains. Together with the Nizam, he launched an attack on Arcot and later on the English by appearing at the gates of Madras. The panic-stricken Madras government signed the Treaty of Madras on 4th April 1769, under which basis was mutual restitution of each other's territories and a defensive alliance, where the English committed to help Hyder in case he was attacked by another power. The consequences of First Anglo-Mysore War are: Hyder Ali, apparently emboldened by the agreement with the British, engaged in war with the Marathas in 1770 and requested British support when the Marathas penetrated Mysorean territory. The British refused to assist him, even though they were also drawn into conflict with the Marathas in the 1770s. Hyder's battles did not fully end until 1779, when the Marathas negotiated an alliance with him and the Nizam of united action against the British. This led to the beginning of the Second Anglo-Mysore War in 1780. This conflict devastated much of the Carnatic and also failed to decisively resolve differences between Mysore and the British. Resolution occurred in 1799 with the defeat and killing of Hyder's son Tipu and the restoration of Wadayars as British claims. The Second Anglo-Mysore War between 1780 to 84. The battlefield was Carnatic and it came to end with the Treaty of Mangalore. The treaty is made between Tipu Sultan and the British East India Company on 11th March 1784. The Second Anglo-Mysore War was a conflict between the Kingdom of Mysore and the British East India Company from 1780 to 1784. Mutual distrust between the English and Hyder Ali caused the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Hyder Ali accused the company of not observing the terms of the defensive treaty when they refused to help him when the Marathas attacked Mysore in 1771. Furthermore, Hyder Ali was helped by the French by meeting his military demands. On international front, the outbreak of the American War of Independence, where French alliance with the American colonies was evident, these developments made Warren Hastings extremely suspicious of Hyder Ali's relations with the French. The British captured Mohe, a French settlement which was within Hyder's protection. This led to the formation of alliance by Hyder Ali with the Hyderabadi Nizam and Marathas against the English Company in 1779. The Second Anglo-Mysore War began in July 1780 when Hyder attacked the Carnatic and captured Akkad by defeating an army under Colonel Bailey. Meanwhile, the English detached the Marathas and Nizams from Hyder's side. After being deserted, Hyder was defeated at Porto Novo in 1781. In 1782, Hyder died, leaving the task unfinished for his son Tipu Sultan, who continued the war with the English for another year. The war ended with the Treaty of Mangalore, March 1784, on the basis of mutual restitution of each other's territories was agreed. The consequences are, this was the second of 4 Anglo-Mysore wars, which ultimately ended with British control over most of the southern part of India. Pursuant to the terms of Treaty of Mangalore, the British did not participate in the conflict between Mysore and its neighbours, the Maratha Empire and the Nizam of Hyderabad, that began in 1785.